Hello everybody and welcome back to my kitchen. As you can see, I got a haircut and shaved. Today we're going to be making some rockfish curry with naan bread. So let's get started. To start off with, we need a half a cup of warm water between 110 and 115 degrees. And then we're going to add a teaspoon of sugar, and mix that in. And then dump in an entire packet of yeast. And this is going to proof the yeast and make sure that it's going to work and rise the bread. Get that mixed in, and we're going to wait 10 minutes and see if it gets nice and frothy and foamy. If it doesn't change, the yeast is no good. If it gets frothy and foamy, then it's ready to use. Okay, I've been kneading this for about 10 minutes now. I had to put more flour down because it got super sticky. So I had to add some more flour to be able to knead it out. But it says knead it until it's smooth and shiny, and that looks pretty smooth and shiny to me. And it's still a little bit sticky, but it's actually handleable. So now we're going to put this someplace warm and let it rise for about an hour. You can put it in a bowl, cover it with a towel, turn your oven on lowest setting, and leave the door open, or close the door and set it on top of your oven. But I have a wood stove, so I'm going to go put it by my wood stove and let it rise for an hour. Okay, I've been kneading this for about 10 minutes now. I had to put more flour down because it got super sticky. So I had to add some more flour to be able to knead it out. But it says knead it until it's smooth and shiny, and that looks pretty smooth and shiny to me. And it's still a little bit sticky, but it's actually handleable. So now we're going to put this someplace warm and let it rise for about an hour. You can put it in a bowl, cover it with a towel, turn your oven on lowest setting, and leave the door open, or close the door and set it on top of your oven. But I have a wood stove, so I'm going to go put it by my wood stove and let it rise for an hour. Also, spray the container you're going to put it in. A little bit of oil. This is avocado oil in a sprayer that I have. And then we're going to drop that in there. And we'll flip it over like that. And then we'll cover that with a damp towel and put it in our warm place. While the naan bread is rising and we're waiting on it, we're going to take the fish. This is black rock, also known as black snapper. Freshly caught, never frozen. I know this because me and my son-in-law caught them yesterday. If you'd like to see pictures of what they looked like before this, go check it out on Uncle Mike's Fishing. You can use whatever fish you like. I don't recommend using sea trout or perch. It's pretty soft fish. It kind of wants to fall apart. This is nice, firmer fish. It stays together, so you actually get these bite-sized pieces instead of a bunch of flakes. And you want to do this ahead of time because we're going to hit this with some salt and let it sit, and that's going to help add flavor to the fish and help make it firmer and everything. I am going to be adding some smoked sea salt because I want that smokiness to it. If you want more salt, do both sides. If you want less salt, just do one side. I'm just going to do one side because we're trying to limit our salt intake right now at the moment, so. There, that looks pretty good. Now I'm just going to set this off to the side while I wait for my naan bread to finish rising. Alright, next step. Got our pan warming up. Gonna add some avocado oil to it. Turn that back down a little bit. I have some ginger, onion, and garlic here. Put that in the pan. I've just got them rough chopped because I don't want to burn them. I just want to cook them down until they're translucent. Alright, onions are turning translucent. They're just about where we want them. Garlic's getting soft. Ginger is just starting to brown a little bit. So now, I'm going to take some red curry powder, or paste, excuse me. This is the first time I've used this. Usually I make my own. So I'm not too sure how much to add, but I did taste it ahead of time. And I think I want a nice good heaping teaspoon of it. It's probably about twice that much if I can get it out of here. Sometimes you just need a smaller spoon. It looks like it was about maybe a fourth of the container. And the reason I did a rough chop on the veggies is because after I cook this curry powder paste in here with them, usually I make a powder, so I keep saying powder. After I cook this curry paste in with it a little bit to help give it a roasted flavor, I'm going to throw this in the blender and blend it all up and make it nice and smooth. I just want to cook it together a little bit first. Help soften everything up a little bit more and help give that curry paste some more flavor. So it's been about 3 minutes or so since I put the paste in there. The fragrance coming off from it's really good. The chilies that are in it's starting to burn my eyes a little bit, so I think that's good. I'm going to take it off from the heat, let it cool for a minute, and stick it in the blender. While the naan is finishing rising, I'm going to take a moment and I'm going to take a half a stick of butter and a nice dollop of some garlic paste. I'm using garlic paste because I'm running out of time. We're all hungry. It's getting late. So I'm just trying to save a little bit of time. Instead of using fresh garlic, I'm using garlic paste. And I'm going to melt that down. And once this is melted down, I'm going to set it off to the side. And we'll be using it when our naan is done. The naan has risen. I'm going to take some oil on my cutting board here. I don't want to use flour because I don't want to add too much flour to the naan. So get that nice and oiled up, which gives me some oil on my fingers. And you can see it's doubled in size. Pull that out of there. And using the pastry cutter, which I have also pre-oiled, I'm going to mold this to where it's even. I'm going to cut it in half. I'm going to cut it in half again. half again. So I end up with 8 pieces. I'm going to take these, roll them, flatten them out, and just let them rest while I start on the curry. Alright, this pan is still warm. It's been off the burner. Burner's been off. We're going to turn it back on, put it on about a medium heat. And we're going to pour 1 can of coconut milk in. And you can see I didn't wash the pan or anything. I left that goodness, what flavor was left over in there. And I'm just gonna warm this up while stirring it until it starts to steam. I'm not sure if you can tell or not, but the milk's just starting to steam. So I'm going to take the curry paste that we made and add it to it now at this point. And you just want to keep this on a low temperature. You don't really want it to boil because it tends to separate and get weird when it boils, from my experience anyways. I don't know if it's just the coconut milk that I use or have available or what, but this is the brand that I use. The curry paste is added, and we're just going to mix that in and keep warming this up for just a few minutes, and then we'll throw the fish in there. I've gotten this pan on warming up, getting ready for our naan to go in. The coconut milk in this is just starting to thicken up. So this is the point where I'm going to add my raw fish that's been salted. We're just going to let them cook in there slowly. That pan's getting a little too hot. You want it hot, that's for sure. Okay, fish is all added. It's okay, I caught it. This pan's nice and hot. Add a nice layer of some avocado oil to it, which will cool it down. And then we're going to throw our bread in there and fry it hot and fast. It's browning. That's when it's time to flip it over. Don't let it cool too much. Gotta turn that temperature back up. I'm gonna fry these up and put them in here when they're done to keep them warm. Okay, we're just getting to a nice simmer right here. I've got about a teaspoon or so of some cornstarch. I'm going to add that to it just to help make it a little bit thicker. Throw on our last 2 pieces of naan. Oh yeah. Okay. That is just about ready. Those are the last 2 pieces of naan. So we're just going to finish this off. Cover the top of it with some garam masala. Probably be about half a teaspoon that I'm adding, if I had to guess. And we're going to mix that in. Turn the heat down. Or take it off the heat, and it's ready to serve. Let my bread get away from me again. Alright, turn that off. Oh, that looks delicious. Last step is to take the naan, lay it out on a platter, and then pour this garlic butter all over it while it's still nice and hot, and then get everybody to come dish up before it gets cold. Oh yeah, look at that. Just beautiful. And this is thickened up. It looks really good too. Alright, we're gonna get our grub on. I hope you guys all do the same. I hope you enjoyed the video and have an awesome day.